Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Get Your Popcorn. I have a guest on today, Wes. We are TikTok mutuals, among other things. So, can you please introduce yourself and tell everybody where to find you?
Hi, my name is Wes King. I am on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram as Screen Brulee. I just really love movies and talking about movies. I love movies from all over the world and from every time period. I'm a big old Hollywood fan. I'm also a big recent movie fan. I love them all. I consider myself kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to loving films.
I'm like that too. Like, there's no era of film that I don't love. What's
Exactly,
your
right.
for classic films? Like, do you have a decade specifically that you like, or like who do you gravitate towards to for classic Hollywood?
I think statistically speaking, Letterbox has the 1940s as my highest rated decade, which does make sense to me. I believe that's the decade that movies like David Lean's Brief Encounter came out, which is absolutely one of my most favorite films of all time. I also really like the 30s. I really like Lubitsch's films. I think he made a lot of really funny films, like Trouble in Paradise is so funny to me. My number one favorite film of all time is King Kong, the 1933 King Kong is just like everything a movie should be to me. I love that film so much.
Yeah, I like that version too. And it's set to appear in one of my favorite movies. Well, they were getting burned down, which is Gone with the Wind.
Wow.
As problematic as that film is,
Yeah.
so the internet don't come after me. The film is highly problematic. I agree with none of its messaging, but that set does burn down in the middle of Gone with the Wind.
Wow, the King Kong set. I didn't know that actually. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and the burning of Atlanta when have you seen Gone with the Wind?
I actually haven't. That's one of the blind spots in my classic history, film
I,
history.
it's pretty harsh Southern propaganda.
Yeah.
Beautifully shot, terrible propaganda, bad messaging. But there's a scene where Atlanta gets burned, and there's a shot where there's like a horse and buggy running below it, and this big building collapses, and that's the set that the door that King Kong like bursts through when they're
That's
like trying to
amazing.
keep him contained.
Oh, I love that. That's the door on Skull Island. That's that
Yeah,
door.
yeah,
Wow, that's so cool.
yeah.
Okay.
They just Selznick Studios burnt down all their back lot because that's all they could do because they were such a tiny
Yeah.
independent studio at that point.
That's intense. Just like burn everything down. I mean, production value, right? Real fire. That's crazy.
They didn't even have their title character cast yet. They were like running behind on budget and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that now. There'd be no way Universal would be like, let's just burn it to the ground.
I've heard the making of Gone with the Wind, I heard was really insane because like there was a whole play about it. I remember I saw this play in high school. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Midnight in Magnolias or something like that. And it's about Selznick and the production of Gone with the Wind, just everything that went wrong with like the behind the scenes stuff. And so I've seen that, but I haven't seen Gone with the Wind. So some of these stories are starting to sound a little bit familiar. But like, yeah, no, that's crazy interesting. It's just one of those like harrowing stories of filmmaking where everything went wrong, but somehow the product was successful.
Yeah, it's great. There's a really good documentary. I mean, I've got I think it was the 75th DVD box set or something I've got, but there's a documentary from the 80s that Christopher Plummer actually narrates where they talk about it. And Selznick was like nuts. Like he was like hopped up on amphetamine like the entire time. And yeah, and he would send like hundreds of memos. They went through like three directors. Two of them had nervous breakdowns,
Oh my goodness.
like just horrific. And then like half the not to mention like the way that the black actors were treated, and then like half the cast didn't even want to, like all the men didn't even want to be in the film because they thought the book was shitty and like used to do accents. Like I love Clark Gable, but didn't even try for a
That's
southern accent.
hilarious. Yeah, no, he sounds totally transatlantic. That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that because I haven't seen the movie, but that's so funny.
How'd you first get into movies? Like, has it been just like right from the jump, or was there something specific that got you into it?
I want to say it's right from the jump. I've actually, ever since I started doing content creation about 3 years ago, that's the question that's been on my mind. Like, when did this all start? And it kind of feels like it has just been there since the beginning. Like, I really can't remember a time in my life when movies weren't important to me. Like, as a really young child, my parents had a VHS collection. So like, that's the whole wall because VHSs are like this thick, So like we have like this whole wall and it's like 50 movies, but it still takes up the whole wall, And You know, I just loved watching like the Disney classics. You know, I think Sleeping Beauty was one of my favorites as a kid, and I think it holds up. I think it's amazing. The Brave Little Toaster was something that was really important to me as a kid. I think I watched that tape until it like wouldn't play anymore. And then of course, you know, as a kid, you like bad movies too. I really enjoyed like the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 1993 with Bob Hoskins. Horrible, horrible film, like on every level, but so much fun to watch. Like incredibly entertaining. And yeah, I don't think there was ever a time in my life where I like discovered film. I think I've always been in a process of rediscovering film though. Like, you know, I don't think movies, and that's I think why movies have remained so important to me is I've never really felt like I've discovered it all. Like, you know, like every time I get into a lull where like, oh, movies just kind of aren't hitting, a new movie will come along and like shake everything up, you know? Like The Substance last year, or I saw the TV Glow last year. Like both were just like so incredibly different and new and energetic and just like, you know, and every year there's at least one or two of those movies that is like incredible. Like there's great movies every year, but there's always one or two movies that just break through like and are just incredible. And like that's why I keep coming back to movies. Like it's like I don't think I've ever like one day watched a movie and was like, oh wow, this is what cinema's about. I think it was just kind of always there. But
Mhm.
every so often I still have that feeling of like, oh wow, this is what cinema is about. Like for
Yeah.
real. This is actually like amazing. And yeah, I think that's, you know, the testament of the art of film is that, you know, I've seen over 2,000 films in my life probably, and every year something comes out that I've never seen before that hits me in a totally new way and is just incredible. And you know, that's I think that's amazing. I don't think there's really any other art form that, I mean, every art form has that power, but I don't think any other art form has the power to continually do it like forever. And I think film might, you know.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean, and I know what you mean that about last year feeling like I don't know, I did feel like there's a bit of a lull post-pandemic of everything, and then with, like, the
Mhm.
different strikes and things, but then, like, with the release of, like, Substance, I saw the TV Glow, Nora was a big one for me where
Yes.
I was like, "This is such a weird mix of, like, a 30s, 40s screwball comedy, and then this, like, very dark story, like, all mixed in." Like, that was, like I, like, re-locked me in, and then I thought Nosferatu was amazing, and, like,
Yes.
coming I will die on the mountain that that was the horror movie that should have got the Academy love. But and then we've seen, like, Sinners and all these things this year, and
Yes.
I just feel like we're really starting to, like
Things are ramping up. Like it's incredible to see mainstream movies be this bold. Like Sinners was a mainstream film, and like I feel like 5, 10 years ago that would have had to have been a low budget indie film for that thing to have gotten made. And like the fact that it was such a big budget spectacle with just like the IMAX and the, you know, the aspect ratio change, they went all out for that movie, and it's like you don't see like original horror movies getting that treatment, and it just the way that it was treated was so much respect, and like artistry is incredible. Like Sinners is going down in history, I think, is like that's a generational film. Like that's up there with Parasite and Get Out. Like that's generational. Like nobody's ever forgetting Sinners.
I think that too, and I was although Anora is my favorite movie of all time, like, objectively, when I step back, I'm like, Sinners is the best film of the decade. I
Yeah.
don't have I think Anora, I connect with her so personally that I'm like, "Oh, this is my favorite for me," but objectively, like, Sinners is the best movie. I'm like
Yeah, it's fantastic.
yeah.
I loved Anora too. I still need to see it again. I only saw it the one time in theaters, but I'm always really impressed with Sean Baker. I think he makes really great films.
I'm not emotionally ready to watch Anora again. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's my favorite movie, but I might not be able to watch it for another 5 years. Like,
that's fair. That's me with the Florida Project. I'm waiting on that one.
it's hard though when it's a really good movie, you're like, "That's amazing. I'm good on so
Yeah, yeah.
Green Mile was another one where I was like, "That was amazing. I will never watch this again."
It's like my heart has been torn to shreds. Give it some time to repair, and then maybe I'll revisit.
Absolutely. Is there any upcoming projects for the rest of the year that you're excited to see?
Yeah, I still haven't seen Good Boy, which I'm very excited to see. I've heard really interesting things. I've heard like kind of that it's like Skinamarink meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I'm like, that sounds awesome. What else am I really? I'm actually very behind in movies this year because I don't know if you know this, but I just graduated college,
No.
and I've been looking for work. So, I'm so behind in actually getting out to the theater. But yeah, I really want to see Good Boy and him. I missed, and I do want to see that. I know it kind of got mixed reviews, but it looked really interesting to me. Obviously, Wicked Part Two. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for Wicked Part Two. And I just saw Kiss of the Spider Woman actually, which was I've been a big fan of the musical for like forever. So that was really excited to see the the big screen adaptation. Oh, Keeper by Osgood Perkins. That looks really interesting too. And yeah, it looks really weird. I mean, Osgood Perkins is going to be really weird, but I'm excited for it. And there was one other Predator Badlands. That looks really good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Frankenstein is released in the theater
Oh
'cause it's
yes.
limited release, and then maybe Marty Supreme just because, like, I do like Timothy.
Yes.
And Bradley Cooper has a new directorial thing, but I don't know if it's getting a wide release or not.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I've been sort of what's on my list of things. So that we're ramping up. But I missed Sentimental Value that was at a film festival that I was at.
Yeah.
I missed the screening, but it's supposed to be really, really good. Everybody I talked to that's seen that has like loved it.
Nice. Who's in that one?
Skeleton Skarsgård and Elle Fanning,
Oh yeah.
and
Okay.
yeah, it has a cool concept. It's about a director who is wanting to work with his daughter, who's an actress, I think, and then she doesn't want to be in the film, so he kind of like replaces her with this other up and coming actress, and it's like fathers and daughters thing.
Yeah. I love Elle Fanning. I'll watch anything she's in. I
Uh,
think she's fantastic.
how much do you put into like the Academy Awards? Is that something that you watch, or I know some people like totally ignore them and think they're kind of bullshit, but are you invested in them at all?
I think I am. I see both sides. I'll say that. Like I totally like am like, yeah, we shouldn't, you know, like and also I also know the history of, the Academy Awards and how it essentially is just an award ceremony to keep the actors from unionizing, like, oh, here's the special award, and you don't need to unionize. We care about you,
Yeah,
So that part, yeah, that's nasty and I don't like it. And then the aspect like but it is what it is, and it is a respected like forum for film, like regardless of its nasty history, whether or not it should be respected, it is a respected forum for film, so people's eyes are on it. And so I do think there's value in that when they do decide to platform really good artistic films, as rarely as that may be. So like I can see the importance and the benefit and the value of it, but I also understand that like a bunch of rich people's opinion on what is good art really shouldn't be the end all be all. Like we should all go watch whatever we want to watch, regardless of what wins an award.
totally. Yeah, I feel the same way where like intellectually I'm like, I shouldn't care about this. But then every February I'm like,
Hmm.
me and my sister are like texting, we're like, well, whose house are we gonna watch it out this year?
Exactly. Every year, me and my friend Michelle are texting back and forth, like, "Oh, I hope this wins. I hope this wins. Oh, I hope this wins." And then when something wins, we're texting each other back, "Ah, this one." So like, yeah, it's intellectually, I don't believe in it, but like for funds,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, my sisters were texting behind my back and they're like, Holly's fucking insufferable coming up to this because she won't shut up about how Ariana Grande should win.
She should. She was so good. My goodness, I'm so sad neither of them won.
Yeah.
That was I mean, maybe I'm not so sad. There was quite a few good contenders that year. I can't even remember who won because it wasn't. It was Honora. It was Mickey, right? She won.
Yeah,
She
I was
deserved it.
fine. I was happy because I in that category, there wasn't other than Carla Sofia Gascon, who I
Mm,
hated Amelia Perez, but that entire category, I wanted Mikey Madison to win, but I was like, whoever gets picked other than this one lady, like whoever gets picked 100% deserves to win. Like
right.
there's
Yeah.
her and yeah, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, Cynthia Erivo, and
Yes.
I'm forgetting who the other one was.
It wasn't Divine because she was supporting, right, for the holdovers,
I think so.
and so it wasn't her. Who was the other's lead? I can't even remember. See, that's the other thing about the Oscars is like you watch them and you celebrate, and then you immediately forget. Like unless Chris Rock gets slapped in the face, you don't remember anything that happened in the night.
Oh my God, that was wild. That was the one year I wasn't watching it. And
Wow.
my sister texted me, she's like, turn on the TV right now.
Right?
What do you mean? And she's like, turn on the TV right now. And I did. I was like, and it was like just after it happened. And I was like, this
I
is
when it
crazy.
happened live, I kind of like was in disbelief. I was watching it with my partner at the time, and we both were like, "Did that just happen? We just see what we just saw? Like, was that a skit? Was that a bit? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah, it was
So
weird.
strange.
Then for him to like and then of course I was like, "Well, I gotta see what happens." And then for him to win Best Actor and, like,
Right.
it just happened and, like, them not, like, do anything about it. I'm like, "This is insane."
Embarrassing. Oh, what a horrible night. So strange.
It was Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here
The other
was
one.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah. Yeah, it was that was a weird,
Yeah.
weird Oscars. Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange.
Every so often every so often something weird happens. Not as painful as when Adrian Brody this year, his, like,
Oh my
speech
goodness. His speech was terrible. He just kept going. And the funny thing is I feel like I've been a defender of Adrian Brody before. I'm like, oh, but he's really good. Like, he might be a little snobbish and pretentious, but I feel like, he puts in the work, so maybe he deserves a little bit of snobbery. But no, that was too far. His speech was crazy. I was like, oh my goodness, Adrian, shut up. He lost me there.
his gum at his girlfriend.
Yeah, what the heck? That was so nasty. That was the weirdest thing. Just toss your gum. It's like, why are you chewing gum at the Oscars anyway? Like, shouldn't you be paying attention? Like, I don't know. Like,
Or just I think that's a moment where you could swallow your gum. Like,
yeah,
that's
that's a moment where you swallow. 100%. Like, don't worry about it. Just swallow the gum.
yeah, that was yeah, and then, yeah, Zoe Saldana was another one where I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, for Amelia Perez. Strange role, strange film.
You're like, "Get down." That's Ariana Grande's.
Right. Like, how can you even be up there with Ariana Grande for a musical film in the same year? Like, what? That's
I'm
insane.
yeah. I'm so excited for Wicked Part 2. Have you been, like,
Yeah.
a Wicked fan, like, since the stage musical, or
Yes, I love musical theater. As a kid, that's what I wanted to be, was a musical theater actor. So I'm obsessed with so much musical theater, and Wicked has definitely been one of them. I would never say I was like a huge Wicked head. Like when all the kids were in Wicked in junior high, I was like, well, I'm into Sweeney Todd, so I'm dark and mysterious. But like I liked Wicked, and I loved, I loved Wicked, but I had to be the dark and mysterious teenager. So, but when the movie was coming out, the stage show was touring through my city, and I was like, this is going to be my last chance to actually see the show before the movie comes out. Once the movie's out, it's out. Like I will never be able to see the show without having seen the movie ever. Like, and I was like, I gotta go see the show. So like, even though I was like a poor, starving student, I like saved up all my money to buy a ticket to go see Wicked, and I saw Wicked on stage 24 hours before I saw Wicked Part 1 in theaters,
that's
and
amazing.
it was a great week. It's really good. The show was incredible. The movie was incredible. I actually think I liked the movie better. I think, the stage show feels so fast and rushed almost. Even watching it for the first time, it kind of felt that way. And then, especially after watching the movie, thinking back on the stage show, I was like, yeah, the movie just allowed everything to breathe, which was
Mhm.
really nice. Like, it really, like, I don't really feel like they added anything to the movie. They just sort of like let every individual scene breathe. Whereas in the stage show, things are like, scene's over, go to the next scene, scene's over, go to the next scene, and that's just how theater is. I'm not knocking it at all. That's just, theater is very much a timed thing. Like, you don't want dead space on stage. You don't want dead sound on stage. Like, everything needs to be overlapping. It's gotta run like a machine on stage.
Yeah.
Like, but I really liked how the movie just like took its time, and you really felt like you got a feel for the characters and the setting, and it was just a really beautiful film. And the vocal performances, I don't think anybody on stage has ever done as good as them two in the movie. And I don't usually say that. Usually I'm very much like the Broadway performer did it better than whoever the cast of the movie. But holy cow, not this time. Like, they were both incredible.
They were so good, and I totally know what you mean, like, especially my favorite part that, like, you had so much more space to breathe was that whole, like, Ozdust sequence
Yes.
where, like, it's so fast in the musical where she's getting made fun of, and then Galinda, like, it just is, like,
Yeah.
it's within, like, 40 seconds, but, like, that, like, there's, like, the scene of, like, a couple of minutes where Elphaba's, like, being made fun of, where it's, like, really intense, and then Galinda finally steps in. I was, like, sobbing. I sobbed through the whole thing, but, like, I was, like, sobbing in that. I was like, "Oh my god." It was so good, and Cynthia Erivo's vocals were insane. It was so good that I was like the only time I've ever wanted Disney to do a live action was, like, I wanna see what she does with, like, Frozen.
Oh yeah. If she was cast as a
Elsa,
Elsa, that would be really cool.
because I was
She'd
like,
be a
well,
great
she's
Ice
not
Queen. That'd be dope.
Idina Menzel's Wicked vocals out. So I'm like, well,
Oh yeah.
what could we do with Let It Go?
Right. That would be so. She should just cover. This would be so mean to Idina Menzel. It would be, but she should just cover everything Idina's ever sung. Just everything. She's gonna cover all the songs from Rent. She's gonna cover all Maureen. She's gonna cover all of See What I Want to See. She's gonna cover everything Idina Menzel's ever done. That would be so mean to Idina Menzel, but I would love to hear it.
I bet you could hit it out of the park.
Absolutely.
So if you're like, I also am like, did musical theater through high school, and by I danced in musical theater because I'm not a
Amazing.
singer. Not a singer. The only time I was ever star of a play was Little Women, and that's because there's zero singing. But like, what are your like? What musicals do you like? Like, what do you gravitate towards? Because most people don't like musicals. So I'm always so excited
Yeah.
when I meet someone else that loves them.
So I've actually that's another thing because I'm currently dating someone who really doesn't like musicals. And I've been trying to get him to understand musicals, like at least understand them. I was like,
I
you
feel
don't
your
have to love
pain.
them. Let me just like get you to understand. Like I try to compare them to horror movies. He really loves the gory slasher horror movies. I'm like, okay, instead of like a big bloody sequence, they sing.
Yeah.
They dance and sing instead of killing each other. They dance and sing. Like instead of like this big sequence with this guy with a machete going and hacking through like 4 teenagers, you have like 4 people singing about how mad they are that somebody's late for dinner. It's like I don't know. I think like you either like musicals or you don't. Like, I'm beginning to think there's no way to like sway someone to come around to musicals if they don't already like them. Because I never was swayed to them. I just naturally liked them. Like as a kid, we would watch Sound of Music. It was always on TV around the holidays, so we'd watch that on on the holidays. And I love Sound of Music. And West Side Story was a big one for me as a kid because I really loved the original West Side Story movie. Um, like what was like the first? I think the first like musical that I saw. It's not a musical; it's a ballet. I saw the Nutcracker in first grade. My teacher took us all to see the Nutcracker, and I think that's like kind of was my first like theater experience, like in a theater, and it kind of blew me away. I was like, "This is incredible."
Yeah.
And like ever since then, I've just like have always been wanting to like see a production of something, like whether it be musical theater. I don't think I've ever seen another ballet, but I've gone to a few operas and I've gone to musical theater whenever I get the chance, and like I just love them. I think the last show I saw was a community production of 9 to 5, and that was a lot of fun.
That's such a good one. I love that movie. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm same with Sound of Music for me. Like that was like a big, it is still like if I'm like need a pick me up, like I always like it's in my letterbox top four, The Sound of Music. Like
yeah, so
I
good.
love that movie. My husband, like the second, like he will not watch it. He will not. I have to trick him into musicals.
Yeah,
I mean, we have a 3-year-old, so we watch like all Disney movies are musicals pretty much,
yeah,
like princess ones. So he'll watch those. But I have to like trick him into like A Star Is Born or like Sinners, where you're like, this is a musical. I'm just,
yeah.
it's not. It's not. They don't break into song. It's like it's all within context. So I'm like, this is still a musical though.
Right. My partner feels the same way. He feels like I'm tricking him into musicals all the time. And the funny thing is Sinners was one of those where I was like, oh, we gotta watch Sinners. And I put it on, and when singing starts, he goes, I didn't realize we were watching a musical today. And I was like, this is a horror movie. It's not a musical. What are you talking about? And then as the movie goes on, I was like, there are a lot of songs in this movie. And they do sing the song like all the way through. So maybe it is a musical. I don't know. It's like it didn't feel like a musical to me because I think of musicals as very different. And like A Star Is Born was another one where I was like, I mean, it is a musical, but it kind of isn't. Like they're singing because that's their job, and
You're
like
on
it's a movie
stage, yeah.
about singers. They're not singing because of like they're breaking out into this fantastical moment of you know inner emotion that is externalized by song.
Yeah.
Like most musicals are. So like I don't know. It's like there's different kinds of musicals, I guess. There's like that fantasy musical where, people express their inner feelings through song, and then there's like the I don't know, realism musical where the characters are actually singing. So I don't know, it's interesting. But he doesn't like either of them. He's not a fan of either kind.
Yeah, my husband will like tolerate it if I trick him into it. Wicked, I was surprised I got him into, but he didn't tell me how much he liked Ariana Grande until
Hmm.
after it. And he's like, I'll watch 3 hours of any Ariana Grande doing anything. I'm like, okay, good to know. But yeah, I could never get him to watch Chicago. Like there'd be
I
no way.
love
Or like
Chicago.
I'm trying to be like, we should watch All That Jazz. And he's like,
Yes.
no.
I almost don't even consider All That Jazz a musical. I feel like that's one of those that's like it's a musical sort of, but it's not really. I mean, it is, but it isn't. But it is.
It's a biopic that Bob
Yeah,
Fosse dies. It's a
yeah.
big
It's
biopic.
It's about a Broadway choreographer, so of course there's going to be some singing and dancing, but it's so good.
Yeah, there's no way. But my dad was the theater teacher, like, at my high school before I went there, and so I watched they'd always do musicals there, so we watched a ton of them when I was a kid. Just yeah, Annie, and then,
Oh yeah.
uh, Red Hot and Cold, the one about Cole Porter and, like, all that kinda stuff, like, so I, like, grew up with it, so I'm always it was weird to get out into, like, the world and be like, people think they're cheesy. I'm like, "But they're so good, what do you mean?"
It's like, what do you mean? They're just full of joy and happiness and, sometimes cannibalism, but they're great. I
Or
love
like,
musicals.
yeah, me too, or like Funny Girl. I'm like,
Oh
what do you
yeah.
mean you don't like that movie?"
Yeah. I I love them all. Every Judy Garland film, every Barbara Streisand, I love them all. Like,
Yeah,
they're all so good.
so good. Yeah, Judy's so great, so good. Is there any other genres you sort of gravitate to besides musicals?
Definitely horror. I feel
Yeah.
like that seems like a weird contrast, like horror and music. But yeah, no, I love horror movies. I love like deep dark character dramas. I think those are really interesting. Like, I know it's kind of like has this nasty connotation of like a film bro film, but like Taxi Driver is an incredible character study and it's
Yeah.
beautifully shot. And the score is amazing. I mean, like Bernard Herrmann is incredible. Yeah, I love just like any movie that like it doesn't even matter the genre, just any movie that really gets me into a character's headspace, whoever they may be, and like really explores that, I think is something incredible because like just like I can watch like something like Honora, and I'm exploring the life of a young sex worker who feels like she's hit the jackpot. And that's not something I'm ever going to experience in real life, but for 2 hours I can, have a sort of proxy experience of that.
Mhm.
And I think that's incredible and I think that's valuable. And I think any movie that does that is incredible. So like, it could be a musical, it could be a horror film, it could be a drama film, it could be a thriller, just as long as they really get the character right and it's like an honest, exploration of that, I think will be something that I love almost 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that sort of thing can kind of transcend any sort of genre. And I feel you about when you like film bro films, you're like, it's like I love Interstellar.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, somebody told me that Sinners was a film bro film. They're like, you like film bro films? I was like, Sinners? I was like, the movie with the woman cinematographer about black people fighting vampires? That's a film bro film now? What are you talking about? But like, I don't know. I get confused by, I really do. I get very confused when people kind of put that connotation on film because I'm like, is this actually beneficial to like analyzing any film? Like, is to put that kind of signifier on it and say it's bad because a certain demographic may be related to it more than the rest of us. Like, I think this is valuable. We should be exploring why a certain demographic relates to this because that could be helpful in discovering the psychology of it. That could be helpful in healing as a society. Like, it's kind of like the name of the demon gives you power over it. It's like, well, the name of whatever is causing all these I don't know, film bro, incel,
Yeah.
whatever's causing that. Like, we're gonna learn that through what they relate to. Like, we're not gonna learn that by shoving everything aside, and sweeping it under the rug and saying, "Oh, you're bad. Let's ignore it." Like, that's not how we fix ourselves as a society. I don't think, or progress. We're like, it's the name of the demon. We got to know what's going on.
Yeah, why do so many film bros love Christopher Nolan when, he just, like, all of his female characters, you're like, "Well, they don't really need to be here." Like,
I mean, he has that dead wife trope. Like, all of his main characters have a dead wife.
yeah, you're like, "Do you maybe wanna explore some therapy instead of"
Right. Like, let's explore that.
like, all Steven Spielberg films, like, there's some sort of, like, fathers and sons
Hmm.
thing. You're like, "Man, you should've just talked to your dad when he was alive."
Yeah. Instead, we're all watching your therapy on screen. I mean, but The Fablemans was fantastic. Because I mean, I think that movie was it's kind of one of those ones where it is really sentimental, and like I think if you're watching it in like the wrong headspace, it can kind of feel really cheesy and gross. But like it's to me, I think it's a really like it's just nice to see someone growing up with a love of film and like watching that develop through a film and like seeing where it came from for him, like being scared of the train wreck in The Greatest Show on Earth and how he wanted to recreate that. And just like, I think it's a beautiful, like, just like autobiographical film. And it's also funny because I feel like Spielberg did put little like hints on like, this is where I got this idea for this in my one film, and this is where that idea came from. It's like, if you're fans of Spielberg's work and you've seen a lot of his films, I feel like watching The Fablemans, you're like, is that where you got that idea for Jurassic Park? Is that where you got, like the scene where the big teenager, he's like, you made me look tough in the video, why'd you do that? And the other guy comes in to beat him up, and the other guy like pushes him away, and he's like, leave him alone. I was like, hey, that was the T-Rex and fighting the raptors at the end of Jurassic Park. That's what that was. I see
Yeah.
you, Spielberg. I'm glad he's taking his therapy out on the big screen because it's fun to watch.
But the same, and I feel like I'm a diehard defender of The Fabelmans. It flips in and out of my like top 4 or 5 films all the time, and I liked it better than Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I've copped a lot of heat for online, a lot. I don't think that's a bad movie. It just The Fabelmans mirrored my own childhood so deeply that like that was what I liked it, especially like somebody who's like, wow, this family shit is traumatic. I'm going to turn on the television and hope that goes away.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also very grateful to Spielberg, and I've seen everything he's ever done, including everything he like was a co-producer on. But like,
yeah, I mean, that's a lot. He's worked on so many things.
but he was like, I think he was like my gateway drug of becoming into like exploring film as an adult. Like all the things that I watched growing up, like so many of them, if you're like, I'm assuming you're like a millennial or close to it, like growing up, like he had like the greatest hits. Like he had Hook and Jurassic Park and the Indiana Jones stuff and E.T. and like, so like if you're like millennial Gen X, like Spielberg is your childhood. And then one day somebody's like, he did this film called Schindler's List, and you're like, well, what's that about? And then you like put it on, you're like, holy fuck.
Your whole life is wrecked for forever.
And you're like, oh wait, he does movies like this too? And then okay, like I'm gonna go through and then watch all this, like go back through his catalog and go watch all these adult things. It's like my gateway drug to like checking out filmographers and things like that. And then you watch The Color Purple, and you just keep going down this little rabbit hole, and then you jump to his contemporaries, Martin Scorsese, and on from there.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great gateway. I think he might have been, I don't think I've analyzed it quite as much as you have, but he might have been a gateway for me too, to some degree, because E.T. and Jurassic Park absolutely were like core memory movies as a child. Like E.T. wrecked me. Like that's probably the first movie that made me cry as a kid. And then Jurassic Park, of course, like from the beginning scene where they're like, shoot her to the cup with the the ripples in it because the T-Rex is coming. Like that's iconic. Like I will never forget the first time I saw Jurassic Park. And I think maybe he probably was a loose gateway for me too, because I knew that he had kind of taken AI from Stanley Kubrick, and that movie kind of wrecked my whole soul. I was like, I don't even know if I like that movie. I think I do. I think I like it, but it just emotionally affected me too much to like really analyze. I was like, I'm broken now. I can't watch anything for like a year. But that got me into like looking up more of Stanley Kubrick's films. 2001 is now like absolutely one of my favorite films of all time. Clockwork Orange actually came to me at a really weird time in my life because I was like really angry at the world, and then I saw Clockwork Orange, and like I don't know, it was the perfect time because I was like, wow, that movie could not have affected me more than it did had I watched it at any other time in my life. And like I think from there I probably got into just like, I don't know, just generally movies from the 70s because I like the look of the Clockwork Orange a lot. I thought the vibe was really cool. Yeah, movies from the 70s, they look a lot different than I think any other decade. They're very contrasty, and they have like this hyper modernism to them a lot of times, which is really interesting. And I kind of miss that. Like I'm thinking of like, have you seen Manhunter? I think it's by Michael Mann.
No.
It's the same book that Red Dragon is based off of yeah, and it's the one, it was made before with Brian Cox playing Hannibal Lecter. And it's just like this really hyper modern film. Like every setting is like super hyper modern, and just like it's so weird and alien. It's so cool looking.
That's my favorite decade of film, is the 70s for sure. And partially because of I think it was the first decade of film where they kind of let go of the need to like wrap it in a bow at the end of a film, where they just kind of let films exist and they will drop you in, you watch the world for a little while, and they pull you out and film's done, which I like. And then so many of the actors, it's that shift from like the actors are handed a script and they read it, and like we've seen the breakdown for the studio system and stuff, but then the rise of like method actors and the new school and things like that. So, and then some of my favorite act, like Al Pacino is my like all time greatest of all time, especially in the 70s. And so he's all throughout the decade, and then Christopher Walken and Jane Fonda and Robert Redford and Robert De Niro and just like Jack Nicholson, like the list goes on
Yeah.
and on. Warren Beatty, like
Incredible actors, all of them.
yeah, still they're all still A-list. I mean, some of them are dead, but all still like
Yeah.
A celebrities now. That's how good they are,
Yeah.
50 years later.
Yeah, and now some of their children are taking like Ray Nicholson, who looks just like his dad, Jack Nicholson, is now coming up in films, and I'm kind of grateful for that, because I'm like, where would cinema be if we didn't have this weird Jack Nicholson face on our screens? Like we need this face. Thank God for Jack Nicholson's strong genetics. Thank you for giving it to your son. My goodness, we need that weird face. Cinema would be lost without Jack Nicholson's weird face.
I know, he's so good. I love his one where I don't know what he does, but his eyebrows go so far
Yes.
down, and then I can't do it because I Botox to shit, but he does this.
Yeah, he
But
has like crazy eyebrow control.
yeah, I love that. He does it in The Departed, and I'm like, I'm haunted by this. I love
Yes.
it.
So
Or The
good. He's
Shining.
so scary. I would not want to run into him like alone on a dark night ever.
Broad daylight in a bad mood.
Yeah. 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 Or yeah, that too.
He's one of those. And he seems like nuts. Like there is another like special interest of mine is like Playboy lore. And I like love listening to interviews and reading the books and all the stupid shit. But he used to like treat the Playboy Mansion as though it was like a drive-through restaurant.
Wow.
He would like order from the Playboy Mansion kitchen and then like drive up the driveway, have the butlers deliver it, and then he would drive away.
I didn't even realize you could do that. I guess when you're Jack Nicholson, that's so strange.
And they were just kind of like, and eventually they put a stop to it because Jack Nicholson was doing like daily takeout from the
Wow.
mansion.
They're like, this is not a Wendy's. That is insane. I would have never even like thought of the Playboy Mansion as a place to get food. Like what? That is hilarious.
That's such a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, even if him and have fur clothes, can you imagine doing that to your friend? Just like calling and being like, I would like this, and then not even staying for like, hello.
Yeah.
Just,
It's like, can you make me a cheeseburger, some fries? I'll take a potato salad. And, if you have a beer in the fridge, I'll take that too. Bye.
yeah.
It's like, what? That's so funny. That is the most Jack Nicholson thing I think I've ever heard in my life. That is crazy.
I love that fact. I love that fact. I repeat it all the time. I'm like, do you want to know something so odd?
Yeah. I'm going to be telling people that now. That's going to become my new fun fact. That's so crazy.
My go-to, what if I don't know what to say to somebody upon like soonish meetings, if I'm at like some sort of party, if they're sitting next to me and there's not a dog for me to pet or something.
That is so funny that you said that, because I actually have a go-to for media tidbit for when I don't know what to say. What I say is, or if I don't like how the conversation's going and I just want it to stop, I say, "Did you know Shirley Temple died?" She's been dead since 2012, and I've been using it since then. Like, did you know Shirley Temple died? And they all go, what? And I'm like, yeah, she's dead. She died in 2012. And they go, what? It works every time.
Have you watched her movies like recently?
No, I did as a kid. Like, we had like the Heidi, and what was her, like, I don't know. I can't even remember the names of them, but she had like a bunch of films, and we had like them all on VHS, and they were like the nasty TCM colorized, so they look really gross. And I watched them a lot as a kid, so I like have like glimpses of memories, but I don't think I remember the plot of a single one of her movies.
They are disturbing on an adult watch.
Yeah, I
like
was worried about that.
it's very Epstein Island. I was like, who greenlit this? This is horrifying.
Yeah, they didn't treat Shirley very well.
Already child starts for Judy.
Yeah.
Just what was it like? I think she could have like broth and like it was something wild, like 80 cigarettes a day to help
Yeah,
keep
was
her.
that Judy Garland?
Yeah.
Yeah, they like had her on amphetamines and a ton of cigarettes to keep her looking young for the Wizard of Oz, which is
Nothing keeps
insane.
you young like cigarette smoke all day.
Yeah, which is funny because it's probably what made her look really old when she was only 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. What they put Judy and Shirley and just any young woman through back in the day.
Yeah, I'm hoping things change. Like some of the newer childhood stars seem to be like doing okay. Like Zendaya seems to be okay.
Yeah,
So hopefully.
yeah, she seems. I haven't heard any crazy things coming out of her childhood, and she's been acting since she was really young, so that's good
Yeah.
to know.
And even Miley Cyrus like still seems to talk to at least one of her parents. So you're like, well,
Yeah,
you kind of had a regular 20-year-old phase. You didn't have like a Britney Spears level meltdown. So hopefully you're
yeah.
doing
Yeah. Poor Brittany. I miss Brittany. I keep hoping she'll like magically come back and be all like really well and recovered. And she's like, I'm healthy now. And I take care of myself now. And I really hope that for her. Like I've loved Britney Spears since I was a kid. So like her whole thing is a lot. I really
I
hope
know,
she
it's
she
so
gets better.
sad. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I was like maybe like I was old enough that I was like looking at tabloids. So I think I would have been like probably 13 when that whole
Yeah.
saga happened.
Like
And, like, it's
back when she shaved her head and hit somebody with an
yeah,
umbrella. Yeah.
yeah, and, like, they had it coming.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, they I mean, that's her like, in my opinion, her best record is Blackout, which is, like, when that was happening. Like,
Yeah.
I love that CD.
It's a fantastic album. Honestly, all of her albums up until Britney Jean were great.
Yeah,
Britney Jean was a weird album. That was strange. I still listen to some songs from it, but it's like the first miss for Britney
yeah,
Spears.
yeah, and, like, the other like, none of the other pop girls at the same time, like, had the same, like, staying power. Like, I
Yeah.
love Christina, but, like, Back to Basics was the last good album.
Yeah. That was so long ago. That was like what, 2011 or something like that?
2006 or 7, like,
Oh
it's
my
been a
goodness. Even
which
longer. Wow.
she's apparently a really terrible person, which makes me sad because I love her.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
It's fine.
But I got
Well, I better ask you those inside the actor studio
oh
questions.
yeah.
Looking up at the time, I didn't realize how much time had gone past. Okay. All right. So I ask the Inside the Actor Studio questions to all of my guests that come on because my dream when I thought I was going to be an actor was to be on that stage with James Lipton. And so he got this questionnaire from Bernard Pivot. So, Wes, what's your favorite word?
Wow. Strawberry.
What's your least favorite word?
Probably like the F slur.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good
That's
one.
up
And
there.
like, what turns you on creatively?
Just like real exploration of a topic, like honest, like pure exploration is what like the key of all creativity to me.
What turns you off creatively?
I guess like the opposite of that, just like people who are closed off, like when people want to be closed off to something because the idea is uncomfortable or something, it's like, why not just explore it? Like, why not just crack it? Like, art is a safe space, like for anything. Like, we should be able to safely artistically explore anything, like, in my opinion. So I guess just like when people aren't willing to do that, that turns me off creatively.
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite curse word?
I say motherfucker a lot, so probably motherfucker.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love like the sound of like Velcro, honestly. Like that's kind of weird, but I love that sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
When people are chewing next to me.
Or I don't like it if anybody eats and then their fork like at all touches
Yeah.
their
Oh my
teeth.
goodness, I hate that. I hate it in movies too because for some reason they always add that sound effect with like the spoon scraping
Like,
the teeth, and it's like nobody who eats with their teeth like that. Like nobody's scraping stuff off the spoon with their teeth, are they? Like gross. I don't like that if they are.
I have a friend and I won't name her because I'm pretty sure she listens to this. I love you. If you figure out it's you, I won't go out to eat with her, and I haven't told her why. And the reason is because she's a fork biter.
Oh no, why? That would hurt my teeth to bite on a fork. That's like you use the lips to pull the stuff off the utensils and then you chew.
The substance must have been a tough watch for you.
Oh yeah, all the sound design of that movie is so aggressive, but I love it. It's incredible. But yeah, no, the 2 times I watched it, like the visuals are gross, but the sound is way worse.
Yeah. Anytime Dennis Quaid is eating, just
It's so gross. That is grosser than anything else that happens in the movie. Is him eating shrimp at the beginning.
what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
But I really wanted to be a singer at one point, so I guess that I think it'd be
What
really cool
profession?
to sing.
Yeah, for sure. Do you
Yeah.
have like something specific that you like to sing, like any genre or just kind of anything?
I sing it all. I just sing whatever I listen to. I did like my second to last quarter of school. I needed 1 quarter of elective, and the vocal class happened to be just one credit, so it was perfect. And so I signed up for that, and we were doing a lot of like songs from like Tick Tick Boom, songs from what's it called, Chess. So like they're kind of like Broadway pop, I guess, would be like my general like guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What profession would you not like to attempt?
I would hate to work in like the healthcare industry. Thank goodness there are people that do, but I would hate that. I would hate to have to care for sick people all the time. I think that would like be really depressing, and I'm very happy that there are people who are, you know, have the constitution to handle that.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
This is maybe a dark one, but I would like the option of oblivion if that's the case. Like, do I have to come in? Can I just not exist anymore? I did my time. Like, let me be electromagnetic waves in the wind, so to speak.
I'm done. The show.
Yeah, like I'm done. Just let me be dead. Like, I think it's great. You have this awesome place here. Just let me not exist. Oblivion sounds nice.
Also, like, I think for me, like, I just have questions, and I'm like, who made it in? Because if it's the girl that lectured me about swearing in grade 2, I'm good.
Yeah. Like, I'll go to the other place first.
If I have to see Stacy ever again, Oblivion is fine.
Yeah. Oblivion, 100%.
Well, thank you so, so much for coming on. I'll link all your stuff in the show notes below so that everybody can find you. And yeah, I really, really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for your time and for chatting about musical theater stuff. It's nice to nerd out about that with somebody else who loves it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This has been such a fun conversation. Like, this hour has absolutely flown by. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it has.
This has been great.
If you ever want to come back on and deep dive a movie, if there's something coming out, you let me know.
Hell yeah.